Hi class, this is Dr. Earl just checking in during week 6 as you're going through your assignment work on Browning. This will be your last model analysis as you prepare then in these last 2 weeks of our course to put together your final project as we've been discussing through class emails as well as these YouTubes, what you'll be looking to accomplish in that final paper. Again, you're looking to do three things. One, how will you encourage, equip, and engage your people to be sharing the gospel as a leader in the local church or even as a pastor? Secondly, how will you assimilate those responding to the message of Christ that your members are sharing and investing in their friends and work associates to let them know that they can also have Christ and that relationship with God as their Father on a daily basis? How will you assimilate those into the church family? We're talking about the small group experiences and ministries where they will also then be encouraged, engaged, and also being active in sharing their faith in Jesus Christ with their network of friends and how they'll be equipped to do that. And then thirdly, how will you be multiplying the leaders in your church so that you can continuously be taking care of these new believers coming into the church as well as sending out continuously more believers to share the good news of Jesus Christ with those people that God has sovereignly put them in the midst of through their work experiences, their residences where they live, in their neighborhoods, as well as with their family and friends. So that's the final project. With this video, I'm sending the G12 document, to call it that, but just a study of 3 or 4 churches: Seoul, Korea; Bogota, Colombia; Mission Alim in San Salvador; and then also a church in Baton Rouge, where it just shows how they multiplied disciples through multiplying groups. And um, these 50 something pages will be challenging to say to what Cole argued, in the sense of arguing the larger attractional church. Uh, in one sense, these churches that you'll read about in these places I just mentioned that the paper addresses, these local church ministries, were, yes, attractional, but very, very much missional at the same time. So it's just a great story as far as seeing what God did in these churches, is yet still doing to make people, the members of the churches, be very missional and very involved in being disciple makers and making disciples. So I hope that's a help as far as that paper, and it will bring out a lot of information and insight about how small groups are then to be put together and can be put together to help the members of those groups be very missional and Great Commission focused, practicing followers of Christ. Well, as you do this week's work, you have Browning, and we're covering chapters 1, 2, and 3, not the introduction, chapters 1, 2, and 3 for your report. So you'll be wanting to look at in chapter 1 in your summary work to be sure you address what he talks about as far as the well curve and those arguments about our changing world, as he explains what he has observed in our world, and then also about the CTK network, how they function as a church, of the church he serves and what he wrote about in this book. Also in chapter 2, you want to be sure to address what he comments on in surfacing Lyle Shaller's observations about the local church in comparison to the book of Acts, and then also sharing about his discussion about mice and elephant and that contrasting picture of that wineskin of doing church in a manner which we can see the multiplication of disciples, like what we read about in the book of Acts that he discusses, and then be sure to include his own personal journey of the 7 stages that he went through. And then in chapter 3, just to address his pole and spectrum, reach and range discussions there in that chapter as he finishes out this aspect of what you're to be reporting on in chapters 1 through 3. Class, thanks so much for your digging in. We're almost to the end, and I look forward to what you'll be putting together in your final project. Next week's assignment is a discussion board that's a primer to what you'll be working out in your paper in the final project. All right, thanks, class. God bless you, and have a great rest of the week. Bye.